This is Mara Kravitz of MatriArch Development. I was invited to give a presentation of the conceptual plans for 101 Wolf's Lane at the June 2nd Village of Pelham Board of Trustees meeting. What follows is an excerpt from that presentation. To find out more about our project, please visit our website at 101wolfslane.com. Thanks! Thank you very much for being here. Everyone in the audience, thank you all for being here as well. For those who don't know me, I want to state my name, Mara Kravitz. I'm from Pelham. I was born and raised here. I went to Colonial School, the middle school, and the high school. After that, I went to Columbia University. This project's really near and dear to my heart, and I'm really honored to have this opportunity to share with you today a project. It's small and beautiful, and can play an essential role in revitalizing downtown Pelham. Okay, so while it's not a huge property, only 2/3 of an acre, we recognize its significant location right away. So we asked ourselves, how can this project be part of Pelham's revitalization? And we looked at the Village of Pelham Comprehensive Plan to guide us. This plan was made in 2008 for the village, and as you might know, it has 3 key principles. This is maintaining village character, promoting economic development downtown, and sustaining and promoting the prosperity and unique qualities of Pelham. So we hold these as the core of our project as well. The plan also put out certain guiding principles, maintaining and developing the commercial districts as mixed-use, multi-purpose centers, encouraging entrepreneurship, strengthening businesses in the business mix to enable the district and community to compete in the market. And also it put forth certain recommendations as far as economic development goes, and that was making the community more attractive to businesses, improving the appearance of the commercial area, encouraging a variety of housing types downtown, and establishing more prominent gateways to the village. And our project puts all of these into motion. So the comprehensive plan says that Wolf's Lane and 5th Avenue have the potential to become a lively shopping district, and it cites a critical mass of pedestrians as a major impediment to that goal. So we thought, how can our project be part of the solution? And so we said, let's use smart growth principles. So this diagram, it's an aerial view of Wolf's Lane and 5th Avenue. What I want to highlight is how, rather than break up the continuity of the street, we propose having access through the rear, actually through right around this corner, so that continuity is maintained and the pedestrian feeling's there. Also, I want to point out excitingly that because of the pedestrian path that the architects mentioned, this will allow the village to make the most of what it already has in terms of parking capacity, as well as allow the village to consider improving and expanding upon that capacity in the future. Finally, it unlocks the buying power of the employees who come in and work in that building that you can see on the top every day. And they'll be able to enter the main street and shop in the daytime. So with these smart growth principles in mind, we can improve place by beautifying it, increasing downtown economic activity so that businesses can stay in the village and succeed and more will be attracted to come here. It'll establish an attractive gateway to the village, and it will fill a gap in the downtown housing stock. It'll also create value. It will have a ripple effect in increasing commercial and residential property values and be a net fiscal positive for both the village and Pelham schools in terms of taxes. It'll also keep Pelham Pelham, maximizing the potential of what already exists and preserving and promoting the village's character, prosperity, charm. And it will do all of this while respecting the zoning code. We based the housing component of this project on a lot of data. We looked at the comprehensive plan, market research, analysis of other successful transit-oriented developments in the region, market rate rentals in Westchester County, and demographics. And what we found was that there's a significant hole in our housing stock. There's a need for flexible and accessible options for 2 particular age groups, and these are people typically in transition. We're talking about baby boomers, people born in the aftermath of World War II, as well as millennials, so people born roughly between 1980 and 2000. Let's talk about the baby boomers. Here we're thinking about empty nesters who want to be liberated from the burden of homeownership and need a flexible option. So for example, I know a couple who recently sold their home. They wanted to stay in the village, But due to the lack of availability of a rental that was new and fresh, they relocated to Yonkers. And in fact, they said if this building gets built, they're on our list. They want to move in. And millennials, young professionals, saving for a down payment, transitioning to the suburbs. Both of these groups, they're drawn to flexible options, flexible commitments, low maintenance buildings, and a transit-oriented option. So as a comprehensive plan points out, young professionals are potential long-term members of the community and should be encouraged to live and shop in Pelham. Finally, it's financially feasible. There's a demand for rentals. I just want to point out the last rental building was built in Pelham in 1920. That's about 100 years ago. In the 1920s, that was the period of Pelham's biggest growth, and most of its character really architecturally comes from that period. But there's a need for something new, and you can see that the market, it works. And you can look at the Avalon in Bronxville and the Avalon Will in Mamaroneck as examples of successful market rate rentals that offer a variety of apartment styles, which is similar to what we're trying to offer. So finally, smart growth principles uphold that a modest but significant increase in downtown population with their own parking will have a wonderful economic effect downtown. And we found we could do all of this without overburdening the village, the schools, and without needing additional height or large increases of density than the zoning permits. So on that note, a great thing about being a developer from the community, as opposed to a big company from the outside, is that we're uniquely poised to know the needs as well as the fears of the people, and I've thought about that in each step of the design. So the whole team has to be on board, and there you see me on the team. So I want to go through some questions that we often get. First of all, height and architectural character. So the height is within the current zoning. It's 4 stories in the front, as you saw. First, it's 2 stories actually, then set back for 2 more. And then there is a 6-story component, though it's set back 100 feet from the curb, so that's really significant. So the buildings across from the gazebo are 6 stories, but this is going to be, again, 100 feet back, so it won't have an overburdening effect on the street. And as you saw, the design's beautiful, and it corresponds and enhances the downtown's look and feel. It's an evolution, but it's beautiful. Effects on school capacity. So statistically speaking, this is not as large of an issue as people might think. In the 10 years that Marbury's been around, the school population that's come from the 66-unit development has been around 3, 4, and so that's kind of when it goes around. So now I want to talk about property values. This is going to be improving Pelham. It's going to have a ripple effect, improving downtown. So it's going to be a net fiscal positive for the village in terms of taxes, and it's going to have a rippling effect economically. And another question, why did we pick to do a mixed-use transit-oriented development with rentals? Well, that's what the market demands right now. People are looking for that. It's what's financeable. Finally, utilities and services. So it's a green building. That means low impact. And also, part of the process is going through a comprehensive New York State Environmental Quality Review, or SEQR. This is a process that will include many studies. This is what we anticipate looking at. We're going to be working with experts in all of these fields to look at the transportation and traffic impacts, visual impacts, construction impacts, school generation, tax revenue generation. All of the impacts that we'll have will be fully vetted before we can actually make this a possibility. So finally, I've created a roadmap for the approval process that we can work on together. It incorporates the Village of Pelham's code requirements for site plan review as well as the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. So this is where we are now in the preliminary phase. We're preparing for the official site plan review process. This goes through the public hearing process, which is nearing the end of the site plan review process. So this is before, and this is the future. Thank you again all so much for being here. I'm really excited about this opportunity. It's truly an honor to have this chance to bring something that's small, beautiful, and an essential part of revitalizing Pelham. So yeah, thanks again to Mayor Volpe and Trustee Marty for reaching out to us and being great leaders.